Well, Gary, I'm not sure what your music knowledge is like. In the 70s, there was an album called "And Then There Were Three." Is it now three at the bottom of League Two for this scramble?
I wonder where you was going. It is three, yeah, of course it is. It's us, Tranmere and Hartlepool. Unless you win a couple more games, you need to win 3 games to catch the others. But I always felt it was three, and at the moment, neither of those 3 teams are winning, and that's probably what's saving us at the moment, of course, because 37 points, is too low for this stage of the season, and it will be whoever goes down. It will be probably one of the lowest total points ever. So we know we've got to get. You've got to get your first win first. That's what you got to get. That's the important thing. Because once you get your first win in the new regime, then you can get your second one. But it's getting that first one, and it's getting a group of lads, and you still got to have a mixture of experience and youth. You can't go with all youth, and you can't go with all young lads, and you can't go with all the more experienced ones either. And then a manager has things that he has to deal with that doesn't go out publicly, and then you have to deal with people's confidence, and really that's what we got to try and do, because I know it's a long answer to your quirky question, but the boys have got to go out and produce. That's all they got to do. I think they're trying. I do think they're trying. Sometimes it looks like they're not, when we haven't strung 4 or 5 passes together, or got a cross or a diving header, or somebody dribbling past somebody. That's what we need, all those sort of things. And we had it in bits at Stevenage, and the crowd appreciated that. And it clapped them off. But against Wickham, we didn't do enough. We definitely didn't do enough. The work rate was sort of there without the intent to attack, and that's got to be you've got to be able to see it, feel it as a manager and as supporters and as the media, and when a team's up for it in their intent to attack, and that's what we've got to do, and that's the only way of getting out of it.
You said about the players, I'd ask that a different way. Without the win, the players have nothing to feed off other than you, and you are struggling to feed them, if that makes sense.
No, it don't make sense, but I'll answer it anyway. Good try. We come in here and we talk. We review our game always. So we review the game. It's not just me talking. I like to hear their idea of the review of the game. So what went well, what didn't go well, and basically the same things over the last 3 games since I've been here are the things that have gone well, and there's certain things that haven't gone well, and the ones that haven't gone as well as we'd like is the quality, the goals, all the things that sort of win your football matches. But at least I'm turning their heads and making them think about the game. This has become a little bit of a classroom for us as well. So not only do we work out on the pitches as many hours as we can to make sure we save their legs still, but we come in here and try and mentally help them. So actually I think 99% of them have improved mentally, and they understand what they've got to do and what they've got to try and achieve, and I'm hoping it will come sooner rather than later. But we've been sort of, use that word again, relentless in our quest to improve the whole squad in their mentality as well as their physicality.
The last thing you want in a position like this is the treatment
room.
Another bad question. Is the treatment room filling up? And with Wes and Jordan going off on Saturday, any idea whether they'll be available for Tuesday night?
Oh, no chance. I've got every idea. No chance. Wes has got a twisted ankle, and Jordan's he's had to have a scan, and we're really hoping for his sake that it's not as bad as it looks. So I can't see. Maybe Wes is a couple of weeks, and but I think Jordan you know, we touch wood, it's not too bad. But Jordan's probably out for a little while. We haven't had no luck with that. We also on the day had, just before the game, we had a problem with Trevor, the goalkeeper, and Goldie was a little bit jittery and ready to play, our second keeper, because he's only a young lad, but he came through, but he had to kick left-footed, as you might have seen, and only on a couple of occasions did he kick right-footed. So, listen, these things happen when you're in these positions, and you learn about people. Trev came through it, pushed himself through it, which was great, and we're pleased he did. But all these little things you got to put to one side. We can't be the shrinking violets. You know, the management team. I can't. I've still got to pick the next best team without those boys that have been injured.
So Trevor, you think you can manage through for the remaining matches?
Yeah, he'll be okay. It was just he was just a little bit sore. It was probably a little bit of, I think they call it DOMS, which is an ache, more so than any sort of strains or anything. You know, he's played every game, hasn't he, so far this season, and it's of course 40 odd games. You know, you only get that in England. You don't get it anywhere else in the world where you have to play that many games. But hopefully he'll play a few more and we can get a couple of wins for him.
How big a puzzle does that leave you without Wes and Jordan then in terms of selection?
Well, you know, somebody's disappointment is somebody else's opportunity, and you know, people have got to take that opportunity. Every single game is an opportunity for everybody. Unfortunately, some players don't always see it like that. I don't know whether they see it as a chore on occasions, but we got to make sure that they all do their best to earn more of a career for themselves, for their families. You know, just get people proud of them again. And I'm saying that because, of course, there'll be squad players that have to come into the squad that haven't played or haven't been on the squad yet. So, in fact, I think we've just got the 18 fit now. You know, the 11 players and the 7 subs. So, but we've got to see it as an opportunity for them. They have to see it as an opportunity for themselves. So, you can't never tell at this stage who's going to actually rise above it. So you have to give eventually everybody that chance without disrupting the team every week.
It's 20 years since you were at Cambridge. No time for sentiment this time, is there?
No, they'll look all right. The 20 years, no, there's definitely no sentiment. Certainly not tomorrow. I mean, I had some great years there. We had some real top success. It was the start of my sort of career, but tomorrow, I mean, obviously 20 years ago is a long time, and I've still got fond memories there. But you know, this is a massive game for Cheltenham Town Football Club, and all my thoughts and all my energy will go into trying to get the lads over the line, over that line that we want to, you know, get up in one win, and hopefully everybody's a little bit happier. You know, at the moment it's a bit doom and gloom. However, people realise that actually we're not out of it yet. So, human nature, you know, some people at half want you to get beat, and some people are desperate for you to win. I know that, you know, most people at this football club are desperate to keep this club, regardless of human nature, in the Football League, and that's why I'm here. That's my personality, that's my character, and until it's, you know, dead and buried, I'm just going to keep pushing, shoving, kicking, fighting, punching.
Great. Okay.
You picked a solid team shape the last 3 games. Is there the temptation to change that, knowing that you've got to make personnel changes?
Well,
as
do you know what? You know, people could say, people haven't, but they could say, why don't you just go out, all out attack, and play 4 strikers and 2 bombing on midfielders and 2 bombing on, well, then you're going to get beat 5-0. And the other one thing you've always got to have in your mind, I know points are the thing, but also you've got to make sure you don't get beat a heavy score because of your goal difference. Because if we do end up on the same points as Hartlepool, then that, you know, people have stayed up on goal difference. So we've got to be careful of that. However, because, you know, if you've got a team like Man United or Man City or something, maybe not Man City at the moment, but anyway, Man United and You know, the teams that have got those attacking players, that flair, you can do that. But we've got to stay organised because we haven't got that attacking flair that some of the teams have got. And we just got to hope that we're solid enough to stop the opposition, stay in the game. But we just got to take one of our chances. We took one of our chances the other day, which weren't really a chance. It was a good strike from Durrell, but the ball was in the back of our net within 90 seconds, sort of thing. So we have to be aware of that. 2 goals normally wins the game, and I keep saying to the boys, we've got to go for these 2 goals. We've been unlucky a couple of times. Shaq's goal the other day that didn't count, etc., etc. But we got to be solid and attack. I don't think people can accuse me of defending with this group. I've not defended. We've tried to get forward. Just down to the quality when you get there and that striker who's going to pull something out of nothing. And at the moment we're mixing and matching and everybody's getting a chance. But we haven't had that striker that's on a bit of a roll of goals.
Yeah, someone like Danny Haynes, who you signed for Bristol City and you sort of inherited here, came on and did that role on Saturday. He's going to have to sort of step up and do it for the last 3 games.
Well, they're all going to have to step up, honestly, and it's very difficult as a manager when you're picking a team that nobody's, a solid choice straight away. You want to go into this group games, the important ones, knowing your best 11. But who does? You could all pick a team here today and it'll be different to mine, be different to the chairman's, different to the supporters. It's just something that at the moment there's not a ready-made 11. And so I've got to keep giving people the opportunity, see who can, as I say, rise above it and who can actually produce something, affect the game. That is what we got to look for. So if any of you think that you can affect the game, please let me know because there's a contract waiting there.
Just going back to your time at Cambridge, it was one of the more famous sort of rises up the leagues in the last few years, and the old cold showers and John Beck's playing style. How much did you learn from that spell and be able to take into the rest of your career?
Well, that was a fantastic time, and I learned a lot from that because we were definitely long ball, if you like, when people didn't really know what long ball was. They were long passes, but we were about an energy. And we used to talk about, we had a statistician that if you got 200 reaches, we would call them, which meant that you got into their final third, didn't matter whether you got the ball or not, you couldn't lose the game because the theory was they weren't at your end. But we had players at that time that were quality. Lee Philpott, Dion Dublin, John Taylor, Steve Claridge, Michael Cheatham, Gareth Ainsworth. We had some real top players, Liam Dace, Alan Kimball. So it was, though that group of players could have played any sort of football anyway, it was just that we caught teams out and we went, from the 4th division right up to the playoffs for what is now the Premiership. And actually we went in, we got to 2 FA Cup quarter-finals as well, it was 4th and 3rd division, and me and Becky decided that we wouldn't cut our hair 20 years ago, Mike. What do you look like 20 years ago? 20 years ago, we said we wouldn't cut our hair, and I don't even remember Max Wall, but that's what I looked like. And it was like a little bald patch and a long hair down here. It was ridiculous, but we wouldn't cut our hair until we got beat, and we didn't expect to get to two quarter-finals sort of thing. Arsenal beat us at Highbury 2-1. And Crystal Palace beat us 1-0. So, but yeah, they were great times, and I did learn a lot because there was a lot to learn from it. I then took over, and the club wanted a change of style. So it was a group of lads that we brought through the youth team and the young lads. We had to sell a lot of players, a bit like Yeovil. A lot moved on, and we couldn't keep them. So we had to bring in the youth, and they done okay, and we kept ourselves in the first division for a couple of years, and that was my first management job, if you like.
You kind of played against them very many times since, I wouldn't imagine, as a manager, given that
Cambridge? No, I haven't actually. No, I brought Latvia over here for a friendly game against them a few years ago, but no, I've missed them. over the years.
So this will be the first time since
I think
since
it
probably
might be,
that time. Yeah.
Listen, 20 years is a long time to remember whether
Yeah.
I have or haven't, especially in this current situation. But all your thoughts are on one thing. But but this game we need to win, and it's one that, as you say, no sentiment. I can't. Well, of course there isn't anyway. But I'm being paid by this football club, and we've got to make sure that we still do everything we can.